With all the craziness in this world, we are here to have open and honest conversations to help navigate our thoughts.
Sometimes we are right and sometimes we're wrong. But in the end, if we aren't learning, we aren't living.
This is Philip.
And this is Wes.
And we are
Two Bottles Deep. Yeah, I like how, to pick up the soul piece of that, you had said something earlier about the mind. Is kind of the mind over matter is kind of what came into my head, because you said before soul knows no fear. So is that our mind? Is it society pressures? Is it,
of course,
fear? Because fear is taught,
right? Yeah. So a good part of fear is taught, but there's some primeval fear, the fear of our reptilian brain that keeps us away from fire, away from heights, away from tigers. Okay, that's keeping us alive. That's a fear that will keep our body alive, which is great. Thank God we have that. Otherwise, we wouldn't make it past the age of 5. Yeah. None of us. Now, the thing is that when all these problems are removed, the fear goes like, okay, it's still looking out for the danger. And it doesn't make a distinction between something that will damage your body and just cause you to die, and things that are perceived as a threat, which are not a threat, but the mind goes in total overdrive. I need to, I need to do my job here. I'm on duty. I need to protect this creature from its own sure death. And so what happens? It starts seeing danger where there's no danger. So you have a lot of fear like that. And obviously, that's how we all work. And obviously, that is a mechanism that is very welcome for society, family, school, religion, community, because as long as you and everything and everyone around you keeps you in fear, they have control over you. And the moment you are out of fear, no one can control you. And so, people who mean well, like our parents, our teachers and stuff, they don't know any better. And those who know better, say on a bit larger scale, they absolutely don't want this to happen because they lose control. So this is not handy at all. And this is why we keep doing the things the same way and instilling the same fears in the next generation and the next and the next and the next, because it's really, really handy. So if a kid is scared of everything, they'll keep calm. If your employees are scared, they'll keep calm. If your soldiers are scared, they'll keep calm. If your subjects, if you're everyone. And that's the thing. And that's what the mind and the minds do really, really well. No soul gives a damn about any of that. No soul wants to control any other soul. No soul wants to have anyone in fear. No soul wants any of that. That's only the mind.
I find the mind absolutely fascinating, and just the way it can control just speaking personally, just what it allows me to do. It prevents me from doing things that I know I would enjoy. Like, yeah. I just recently started doing stand-up, and for years in the back of my mind, I have been wanting to do this. We're talking 20 years, but I have found every excuse on the planet. Mm-hmm. Everything. Yeah. It's been, too busy. I'm in a relationship. I'm on a diet. It's any stupid reason. But it's something that the first time I experienced it was like one of the most joyful moments I have ever had. And then I was mad at myself for waiting 20 years.
So many years went by.
I'm like, what are you doing? People have been telling you this. You are not even listening to yourself. So I guess my question is, why do we do that? Like, wouldn't it just be easier to just listen and just do it? Like, what kept me from doing something that I knew that people could see? And I was just like, no, I can't do that. That's not for me. That's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why do we do that?
That's exactly that. That's the constant chatter and the constant screaming and the constant arguing of the mind. the moment you did it, you told the mind to just keep quiet, and you did what you wanted to do, and you saw that was one of those moments when you're in your soul, you're doing what you want, and your soul was so that, oh, okay, at last. And
Right.
when you are finding excuses, the mind goes, yes, I've done it again, yes, aren't I clever, yes. And the mind doesn't like any challenge. The mind hates it. So if you are saying, okay, I'm doing something that's scary, I'm uh, doing something I'm not used to, that's out of my comfort zone, the mind lives in its comfort zone. That's what it likes. And whenever you try to wake it out of it, it absolutely hates it, and it will do everything it can, and it's powerful to prevent you from doing that. And that's where all these are limiting beliefs. Whenever you say, I would love to do that, or I would love to have that, and then you say, no, I can't do that, no, I can't have that, that is limiting beliefs. And that's the mind putting a limiter, like those cars that have the speed limiter. It's like, you're not going faster than that, that's your lot. And that's the mind keeping you quiet. Because why? Because the mind lives in fear. The mind knows it's short-lived. The mind will not outlive your body by a single second. It's in fear. It's scared. It doesn't want to die. The soul doesn't care. The soul knows exactly that it's never going to die. It doesn't care.
Oh,
So
I
the
like
soul,
that.
yeah, soul wants you to. Soul says, "Hey, let's have fun."
Simona, do you still get do you get stage fright, or do you get nervous before you go up and perform?
Um, no, it's not stage fright. It's that little adrenaline shot that makes that you focus, and you kind of alert, and all of that. Yes, but stage fright, absolutely not. That's something that I managed to leave behind. Otherwise, can you imagine? I've been on stage for 22 years. That would have been a grim life.
It's crippling.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that I'm finding myself helping singers with, because and obviously any performing artist and any sports person will be the same. I'm going out there, I'm going to make a fool of myself, because the mind is telling you that you can't do it, that your voice will break, that actors, you and singers as well alike, you forget your lines, you won't know what to say, you won't know what to do, all of that stuff.
So how do you quiet your mind and listen to your soul?
You basically, you start with your emotions. You always you know how we get influenced by who we hang out with a lot. So if you hang out with your mind, you are likely to be, it's contagious. You're likely to all this fear to rub off on you. If you hang out with your soul, you get a lot bolder. You get a lot. So how do you do that? It's simply, if you monitor how you're feeling, whenever something is feeling good, stay there, do more of that, go down that line. When something is not feeling good, basically you can practically reach out for the next better feeling thing. It can be a thought, it can be an action, it can be something you do. You might need to take a shower, you might need to go outside, you might need to listen to music, turn off something, talk to someone, or just a thought like if I imagine this, it's bad, but if I imagine that this is a possibility as well, and this is already feeling better, you are already raising your energy. It's going up. And from that space, you can take the next step, and the next, and the next. It's always about going where you can feel the best. And over time, you learn to see where there's a shimmer of feeling better, even in really, really hard times. A shimmer of something that's feeling a little bit better. The moment you're there, you are actually in a different place. You are broadcasting something different into the universe. Something a bit better, which means that the universe will give you something a bit better.
Is that the same thing as savoring? Like when you experience something that makes you happy and you sit in that, is that savoring?
Sure, it's if you manage, this is something interesting. If you manage to really savor something, as you say, without thinking back to other things or projecting into the future to other things that might not be. Think back to things that have been or whatever. And if you manage to be in the present, but really savoring that and only there and only that, there you are untouchable. Nothing bad can happen there because you are really in the present. And the real present, with no pulls into the past and pulls into the future, is the only moment when you are in your soul. It's the only moment. It's the only moment where you are in your flow, in the moment you are actually meant to be in. That's where you are right now. But then if your mind is in the past, you're not there. Your body is whatever here and your mind is there. And then you go to the future, your body is here and your mind is God knows where. When you manage to be like really, really in the present, that's where the mind just shuts it because it can't deal with it. It doesn't know what to do with it. And you will know because you will hear no words in your mind. The mind speaks, the mind uses language, the soul doesn't. The soul uses images and feelings and stuff. And when you hear voices, when you hear chatter, you are not in the present. When you hear no voices, no words, no language, that's when you know you're there.
I guess that's why it's important to practice mindfulness, just like the act of, because that's the only time you're with your soul.
Yes, it's not the only time. It's the first and best step. Okay. And then but absolutely, yeah. Actually, yeah. Say that. That's a good thing.
There's good way of saying it. When I'm working out or on a walk or a hike, I love, I'll listen to podcast or music. And this morning, so we have great nature preserves here in Nashville. There's a bunch of hills, bunch of trees, bunch of flat land. It's just a great mixture. And I felt like my mind was racing early in the morning. People were jogging, riding their bikes. I mean, it was 6 a.m., right? And my mind was already going. And I took an earbud out and I just paused my music, paused a podcast because I'll go back and forth. And I just listened to nature. And I just chose to, like your grandma says, just wake up and it's going to be a good day. But I had all those thoughts of like what I have to do, what I need to do for my new job, what I need, all this stuff and prepare for today and all that. I'm just going to listen to the trees and there's a river that I walked by. I just listened to the river as I walked. And it was just so nice just to, when you smiled at people, they'd smile back. And it was just because before I wasn't smiling, I was so like, I would look up, make eye contact, but just keep going. But I was there, but I wasn't in the moment. And it's like so many times we get to the gym, but we're thinking about that 11 o'clock conference call and then that lunch meeting and then something there. I was just like, no, I turned my phone on silent so I didn't hear notifications. Or you can turn it off.
Yeah.
Crazy enough, in today's world to have your phone shut off. And just that, like 2 miles back to the car, I was like, that was so peaceful. And I smiled and people said good morning. And it was a totally different one when I was doing my first 2 miles away from my car. I was like, all right, podcast on, music on, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So exactly. That mind, that, and I like how you say, and this is totally off subject, but I wrote it down. The hate comes from fear and fear comes from the mind. So your mind can like feed all that, right? So I'm like, okay, what exercise can I do right now? And it was shutting my phone off, shutting a podcast, which it was a very uplifting podcast.
I'm sure, but you're not there. You're somewhere else.
Right. Yep. I wasn't there. Yeah, I wasn't there. And it was just so, it just kind of just resonated. So I had to say that. It just resonated. I'm like, oh, it's doing the work. You can read the books. We can talk to you. We can listen to YouTube and all that, but it's like doing that work in the moment and making that matter. I mean, it's little things of like, I'm gonna shut everything off and just do the dishes and enjoy the dishes.
I love that you talk about the dishes.
Yeah.
Yes. Do the dishes and just do the, yes, exactly.
Yeah. It's rather than, because that's always a negative thing. I got to get home. I got to do the dishes, got to walk the dog, got to clean the floors, got to do laundry. And it's like, God, just enjoying that and segmenting that time. It's like, okay, I'm going to do 20 minutes of that. And then I may do a couple push-ups. And that's like, I mean, this is work I'm doing, and it's hard because I've never focused on it before.
If
And I
you
don't think a lot
focus
of us
on
have.
doing the dishes, if you manage to really be in the present and only do the dishes, which means without thinking about a phone call that you have to do, thinking about the shopping list, nothing, just really only do the dishes. It's not easy at all. It's a very, very demanding exercise. Just do the dishes and nothing else.
Because I would get home from work and I'm like, okay, I got to get to this happy hour. I have to get over here. I have to go networking. And we have a very social, we're so blessed to live in such a great city and be surrounded by great people and technology. We can connect with amazing people like you from across the world. And we look at all the positives, but then sometimes it's like, okay, it's great. It's positive stuff, but it's like, I'm always, what's next? What's next? And for so many years, and I've noticed since I quit drinking too, it's like I don't want to go out as much, but that was part of my identity. And I've met my best friends out and about being social. And it's like that was the hard part to sit in, right? And now it's like because I was just that was the way of life. It was like I always had to make plans and my calendar was always full. And I wasn't mad about that. It was all fun, good things. But now it's like sitting in that moment and not using my dishwasher and actually doing dishes and enjoying laundry rather than having to be go, go, go. Because I struggle with that too.
Mm.
I really, really do. And I think a lot of us do because we
We
have to
all
make the
do. We all
plans.
do.
We have to be go, 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 especially in a town like this, you have to network. And you said something too, no matter who you are, there is a place for you when we talked before. And it was like, who am I now? There is a place for me now. I changed careers. And it could be for someone who moved to a new city or lost a spouse or whatever. It's like no matter who you are, no matter where you are, there is a place for you. And sometimes it's hard to figure, maybe that's soul searching too. I don't know, but finding that place in that season that you're in.
Yeah. And if you can be in yourself, really, you're already in your place. And external places will adjust immediately. The thing is, if you're, oh my God, everything's gone wrong, you're again coming from a situation of lack of an identity, lack of belonging, lack of something, and you will have more lack. If you are in yourself and you say, I know where I am. I'm here. I'm in myself. You will fit in wherever you want to fit. The problem is if when you don't find your place within yourself, then it's very hard to find a place outside of yourself. It's very hard.
And when you talk about finding a place in yourself, does that mean you're at peace with yourself? Like if you've
good way of, yes. It means you're at peace with yourself. It means you can change things, you can change anything or everything. I like that you're talking about identity. You can change everything that forms your identity. You can change everything. You can change your name, you can change your profession, your nationality, your religion, your political views, your eating habits, you can change your gender if you want. You can change everything. You can change your body, your complete looks, everything. You can be externally a completely different person. Doesn't really matter. Who are you? You, the inside you. That's this you can't change, and you shouldn't, and that's perfectly okay. So when we're talking about the soul, so just as long as you please your soul, and you will know because you'll feel fantastic, the rest doesn't matter. If you don't please your soul, you will know because you'll feel horrible. And so when you please your soul, you are in the right place, and anything will be the right place. Any place you choose will be the right place.
SImona, what do you do? Do you do something on a daily basis to like check on yourself, to however you want to say it, feed your soul, make sure you're good. Do you have like a daily practice that you do?
Yeah. So I don't, I don't sit down in the lotus position or any of that. But what I do is I do practice. When we talk about mindfulness, it's like, for example, doing the dishes, okay, or anything you do, just doing only that, and doing it so intently that basically the language disappears out of your mind. You are not saying, "Oh, the water is hot." No, you are feeling the water. You are, the bubbles in the soap or whatever, but you are not describing it. You are not judging it. You are not giving it any meaning. Uh, how I see it is look through your eyes. Come just behind your eyes and look through your eyes right now as we're talking. Just look through your eyes like you're looking through a window for the first time. Imagine you're in a building that you didn't know. You come to the window and you look out for the first time. You don't know what to expect. You look out. Now look out of your eyes, through your eyes right now. Come behind your eyes and look out through them.
It's a weird feeling.
It's a weird feeling.
It is.
It's a weird feeling, but you can see it, right? You can feel it. You can see how you are coming close to your eyes and looking through them.
And now my brain's playing all these mind games. My brain's like, oh, you're just blurry. It's just blurry vision. You need to get your eyes checked.
Is that a cataract?
Literally, I cannot shut it off.
Yeah. I've always had trouble, Simona, looking into the mirror. I just never, I know I'm a good person. I know whatever, but I never wanted to look at myself in the mirror. So that's a hard exercise. Like I do what I have to do. I brush my teeth, I do my hair, put my contacts in.
Looking in the mirror. Okay, that's very interesting as well. That's very interesting as well. The question is, what do you want to see in the mirror? What would you like to see? What do you want to see?
Do I answer that now, or are you?
I want.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to think about it because it might take you some time. When you know what you would like to see in the mirror, that's a task. Be what you want to see in the mirror. Be that.
My initial thing, I've always never felt I was successful enough or good looking enough or thin enough. And again, those are all negative things that I battle internally. And I'm a positive person on the outside, right? Intentionally. But yeah, when I look deep in, I know I'm a good person, but I've just never liked what I've seen.
Yes.
I've never been happy. I've never.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true for most people. That's how we're brought up. That's again that. Stay small. You're not worth a lot. You're not that important. You're not that successful. You're not that. It's not for you. It's not that. So your mind inherited that from your environment. Maybe you had the most loving parents, but probably they transmitted that to you, not meaning to, but just because that's how they were brought up. Mm-hmm. And then school gives you that, and television gives you that, and your friends and your job and your teachers and your whoever. And then I don't know if you have a community, a sports club, a church, a whatever, they will all give you that kind of stuff. And when you're small, you don't filter any of that. You take it all as truth, face value. Oh, I'm not that important. Okay, done. And that gets stuck in our subconscious mind. And even though we can say, okay, we've read that, okay, I'm worthy because I exist and God loves me. Okay, we don't believe it. We can say what we want. We don't really believe it.
Right.
This hugely limiting, paralyzing belief is stuck in our subconscious mind. And that's what rules what we do. It's not what we think. Okay, think positive, do affirmations. No, because you can do as many affirmations as you want. You affirm, and your brain goes, bullshit, you don't believe that. You don't believe that yourself. You can say as much as you want. So the secret is we have to become aware of what's stuck in there. It's it's under the surface. That's why it's called the subconscious mind. Imagine an iceberg. You have the mind, that is what you see, and then the subconscious mind is the real body of it. It's a huge part of it that you don't see, but it rules everything. It rules all your choices, your behaviors, your reactions, everything. Your dreams, your hopes, your fears, everything. It's all there. Battle with that. I mean, good luck. So the thing is, before we become aware of it and learn how to see it, unravel it, and replace every limiting belief with the related truth, because every limiting belief is a lie. It's a pure lie, and every lie has its relative truth. Every lie has its truth. And we got fed a lot of lies that we accepted because we weren't able to do any better. They weren't able to do any better either. Not, it just keeps on. And we inherit that, we accept it, and it's lies. We are telling ourselves, our mind is full of lies that it keeps repeating at us like a parrot. It doesn't even know what it means, but it's telling us that, and we believe it. But every lie has a truth, and you need to find that. You need to identify the lie, identify the truth, and replace it. This is my favorite work.
That's so great.
All the crap. You go in the cellar and you get rid of the cobwebs.
Kind of like rationalizing those thoughts that come, because you can't control those thoughts that are going to come into your mind. And I read somewhere we have 4,000 to 6,000 thoughts a day.
It's crazy.
Or something like that, and most are negative.
Yeah.
And you rationalize those thoughts, whether it's like, morbid of family members dying and the stuff that just would not happen that day, may not happen that day. When you rationalize those thoughts, or a breakup, or anything bad that comes in, you rationalize it and send it back out. Every lie has its truth. I love that.
Yeah, and whenever you
my
say
next tattoo.
Yeah. When you see yourself in the mirror and you think, I am whatever ugly, this is an absolute lie. It's so ridiculously stupid. It's so ridiculously false, and still we believe it. It sounds real. It looks real. Yeah, but look at me. I'm ugly. No, no, I'm sorry, wrong. I'm not capable. I'm not all of that crap that we get, hammered into our being.
I have a question. So one of the many things I struggle with are the controlling, like the thoughts that pop in. And I can remember, even from a young kid, I'd be sitting in church and I would think the craziest thing, sometimes like, God's dead or something. And then I would go off on myself in my brain. I'm like, never say that. Stop saying that. I'm just almost like I'm screaming in my head. And it's not that bad now, but like I still catch myself. It's almost like I can't stay present because my mind is so obsessed with like giving me feedback. And I guess my question is, when something like that pops into your mind, is it better to ignore it, to address it, or obviously don't scream at it? That's what I want to do. Like, quit. Crazy.
Shut up.
That devil on your shoulder.
No, you observe it, you recognize it, you say, oh, okay, seen you before. Yeah, I heard that. I heard you. Thanks. Okay, I'll have a think about it. Thank you. Dismiss it gracefully. Don't battle it. Don't ignore it. It will scream louder. Don't go against it. You are feeding it. You're making it important because it's worth your battle. So it's worth your, none of that. You acknowledge it. You observe it. You say, thank you. Okay, I'm good. Thanks. I heard you. And that's the way
I love that, Simona, because my go-to is battle it.
Yeah.
I'm strong. I'm a strong person. There's no need for these negative thoughts. But dismissing it gracefully does sound like a much nicer way of handling
It's
it.
a much nicer way. It's more gentle on yourself, and it's more effective also because you are not feeding it. When you battle it, you feed it.
So
When you
same thing
battle it,
like
you
with
feed it.
Wes is when he has those mirror thoughts or whatever those are, it's to not be hard on himself for having those thoughts, but just to
We
be
all have them.
give himself some grace.
Exactly. Don't be hard on the kid you were when that stuff got into your subconscious mind. You really don't deserve to be, to give yourself a hard time for that. It's really, it was out of your power to do anything about it. The only thing you can do is recognize it and say, wait a minute, need to clean that out. Let's do it. I say if you've spent a day out in the dirt and you are sweaty and you've ripped your clothes and you are dusty and you're an absolute mess, you won't say I'm a bad person because I'm sweaty and dusty and a mess.
It's true.
I have a shower. This stuff, and then this is how crazy it is. This is the example. You find yourself in that situation and you say, well, look at me, I'm a bad person. No, you need a shower. You're not a bad person. And this is all of that. This is just we need to recognize it, clean it, get it out of our system. It's got nothing to do there in the first place. It's not ours. We're carrying it around. Someone gave it to us because they didn't know where to put it, and they put it in our brains because they didn't know what to do with it themselves. And we were too small to say no thanks, and we got it out of the system. It's not yours to carry.
I think
That's
Wes and I deal with the same thing. We're really nice people. We're nice to almost everybody but ourselves. And it's like, why? Like, I've got to live with me all the time. I don't have to live with most of these people. I don't, why am I so nice? Why do I go out of my way to be? And I like that. I like that about my personality. And I love that about Wes. Like, he's a very giving person and he's always checking in on people and all that. But then we've had deep conversations where we've both kind of realized like we're kind of mean to ourselves sometimes.
If you like this giving aspect of your personalities, this caring, the moment you start doing that for yourselves, the amount of care and the amount of giving that you will have for others will be not only bigger, it will be more, but it will come from a completely different place. Now part of it will come from, that's my duty, that's what I do, I'm a nice person, I care for people, I want them to be all of that. But when you have so much of that for yourself, your mere presence nourishes people around you. You can still check on them and give and care and all of that, but it will come, I don't know, it will just come so, I'm sure it comes easy because you're that kind of person, of people, both of you, but give it to yourself first, and giving to others will be like a side effect of giving to you, to yourself.
Wow. So, and I'm just thinking of all these other questions.
I'm going through all mine.
Right. We do have a large amount of LGBTQ listeners, and I was trying to think of something that I went through that would kind of relate, but there was times that I think a lot of people that don't have to be LGBTQ. I think a lot of people, but I'm speaking from my community, is no one loves me. I'm in this world all alone. It's a struggle. It's a battle. Is the answer to surround yourself with people first, or to work on loving yourself first? Or it's hard to mentor younger gay people, because both Wes and I, when we came out, it wasn't horrible. We didn't have really bad coming out stories. So when I hear people who tell me bad stories, I'm just like, I hate you went through that. Just love yourself. But I'm like, that's just so. It seems so callous.
It's the right thing to say, but it's not easy.
Yourself.
Yeah.
So, is it more important to work on yourself, to love yourself first, or to try to find love from not find love, but like to get loved from other people?
So it can make life easier, like from a merely practical point of view, it can make life easier if you have some people around you who understand you and support you. If you have that, great. I mean, make the most of it in any case. But still, the work of understanding that anything that makes you think that it's not okay is one of those lies, or a bunch of those lies. It's got nothing to do with you, absolutely nothing. That is not yours to carry. They make you believe it is. They make you believe that you are bad, strange, wrong, whatever. And this is absolutely, this is a huge bunch of fat lies. That's all it is. And that kind of stuff totally comes from the minds of people. But you know what? Who cares about the minds of people? They're gremlins. The minds are gremlins. And no soul would ever think that there's anything wrong with any of that. It's only the minds. People in their soul would not even consider. It's just like, you're a human being, you're perfect. And the mind will tell you all sorts of things, like it's very hard, especially when you're young. But the truth is that what they say, what they believe, they can make your life hard, of course, practically. They can, shut doors, cut your funds. They can, obviously, sure. But what they think and how they judge you is stupid and irrelevant. It's meaningless. It has no foundation. It has nothing. If you judge someone, you are coming from fear. Hate comes from fear. Hate is just a facet of fear. No soul hates anyone.
So these people, a lot that's going on in the United States right now is trans rights, and I see so many friends who may support me. We've never talked about it. I haven't seen them in 30 years. But the joy of Facebook is I get to see their real thoughts. And it is always attacking or making fun of trans people. And I fully believe that there is a percentage of people that are born in the wrong body, or they don't identify. They don't feel with the way they were born. I was born gay. Like, I've known this since 3rd or 4th grade. So those people, they've been on my mind during this conversation because I love them. They're sweet people. And I just don't understand why they take the effort and time out of their day to post on their social media.
Good question. What does that tell you?
That will never affect their life, but in their mind, maybe that's the fear and the hate that's taking over their mind,
of course,
or their mind's producing that. I don't know how to say that, but they're spending their time on people they'll never meet, and they really truly think that this is taking down America, or Joe Biden's taking down America, or Donald Trump's taking down America. And it's just all this negative rhetoric that's just put out there.
Yeah.
It's like that's the mindset the world's in. And when somebody posts something positive, they get frowned upon. But then, because it's like that's what sells in the media, is all the negative stories. So why do these people in their mind, if their soul, and I know some of these people, I mean, they are very loving, great parents, great grandparents, they're super sweet people, but they just don't like trans people. Why are they worried about it?
Yeah, the concept of super sweet, the fact that you might be loving to your kids as long as they please you, sure, it might seem very super sweet, but what if their kids turn out to be gay?
Mm-hmm.
They're super sweet to their kids. Okay, let's see what happens. The fact that someone is kind and good mannered and yeah, okay, nice to be around them, but it doesn't mean a lot. So if someone is taking time out of their lives to judge and to publicly denigrate or whatever other people, there's nothing super sweet about that. These are unhappy people. These are people who live in hate and fear. This is I don't know. They don't know what to do with their lives. They are wasting time and energy and making absolute fools of themselves, if you ask me. But anyway.
And there's a lot of people that in adulthood, they regret what they did or what they said. And that's that learning and living and becoming a better person and being with yourself and maybe looking into that soul, like you said.
Yeah, you're just you're becoming more mature. You are slowly moving away from fear. But, you know, someone who talks, who judges a category of people, or the same with racism. I mean, I have no words for that. Yeah. And they are nurturing their own hate by talking about it. It's not doing anyone any favors, them first, because it's keeping their vibration down. It's keeping them in fear and hate, which is the worst thing they could do for their own lives. But the thing is, we're not aware of these things. They are ruining their own lives by bickering about gay people or about any other category of people that they don't like. And they are, I don't know, same with racism. When they say, I fight against racism, don't do that. Don't go against racism. You are nurturing racism. You are battling against, you are giving it strength. Don't go against racism. Go for integration. Go for love. Go for whatever you want to call it. Don't go against what you don't want. Go for what you want. Nourish what you want to see. Don't nourish what you don't want to see. You are nourishing it, whether you want it or not. If you go against it, you are nourishing it. And they battle against. You're not doing anyone a service apart from the thing you're battling.
So should people not go to protest to counter protest?
I think it's very good to, raise awareness, do things, but careful with your phrasing. It's like what we were talking about earlier. Are you thinking about the thing you want, or are you thinking about the lack of the thing you want? What are you broadcasting? Okay, I know what you want, but how are you phrasing it? Are you phrasing it in a way that projects that into the universe, or are you phrasing it in a way that projects the opposite of what you want and attracts the opposite of what you want? That is a problem. Go for the thing you want to nourish, not against the thing you want to fight, because you're not actually fighting it. It doesn't work. I know it might sound a bit counterintuitive, but it does not bloody work.
SImona, I feel like I could listen to you talk for 22 hours. But we do have a few more minutes. Wes, was there anything else, babe?
Taking more notes.
No,
I'm just like writing. These are all going to be tattooed on my arm, by the way.
SImona-isms.
Yeah, SImona-isms.
I love
it. We're coming up on time.
Do you know, I want to say something. The work that you two are doing with your podcast, bringing different communities together, bringing different schools of thought together, different feelings together, is basically you are serving the souls here. Okay, you are working for people's souls. And this is what when I got your invite, I went like, yes, this is so beautiful, because you are doing it energetically the right way. Okay, so I love that. You are nourishing the right thing. You are nourishing communication. You are nourishing friendship. You are nourishing respect. You are nourishing, you see. So this is the way to go about it. You are not going because you ignorant people who think that no, you are going, let's talk. And that's what souls do.
Yeah.
That's what souls do. You are working the way our souls do work. So You are doing some amazing stuff out there, and this is fantastic. And you know, for young people, I mean, of all ages, who find that they're being discriminated against and all of that stuff, don't let anyone take you out of your own power. Of your own power. As a human being, you are a powerful, more powerful than you care to believe. You are a very, very powerful creator. So, what happens? The thing we were talking about with the subconscious mind. If you keep doing things, being governed by the limiting beliefs that society, whoever, put in your subconscious mind, you keep strengthening that, and you keep getting away from your soul and getting sucked into your limiting world a lot more. No, be in your power. Power. Sometimes people think, I don't want power because I don't want to, you know, do bad things to people. Power can be the most positive thing when it is your power, which means also that you don't let other people's power enter your space. You're not at anyone's mercy. You can be, we're often not, but you can be the real creator of the life you want. You're the creator of your life anyway, but by default we create things that we don't want because we are creating, you know, we're creating from lack. We keep creating lack. We don't want it, but we keep creating it. So when you are aware, you can create the life you want, no matter who you are. You can no matter, you know, what it is you want, no matter as what kind of person, what kind of whatever you identify. A human being has the power with their thoughts to create their world, and that's what I want. I'm a bloody empowerment coach. That's what I want for human beings. I want them to be in their power, and power is a good thing. You're not exerting it over others. It's the power to be who you really, really are, who you choose to be, who you want to be. That's what power is all about. And if everyone were in their own power like this, no one would ever even dream of exerting power over someone else because it makes no sense. So all the stuff that we see in politics, wars, blah, all that, this is only because people are aware from their soul, away from their soul and close to their minds. If you are in your power, in your energy, close to your soul, all of this makes no sense. The greed, the pollution, the everything. We're poisoning our environment. We're you know, poverty, people starving. It makes no sense. It's idiotic. It's so fucking stupid. There's no other way for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's only because we're listening to our fearful minds. That's it.
And how can people find you? So we're gonna, I know this is towards the end, but we will post this, we will story this. I want people to find you, call you, have you as a coach. How can we get a hold of you?
It's easy because I have such a ridiculously strange and rare name, SImona Mango, like the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a stage name. That's what I'm called, really. And I will gladly give you a couple of links for the footnotes if you want for the show notes.
Yeah. So
Easiest
Instagram.
way is Instagram. Yeah, easiest way is simonamango.com. And then you'll be taken to whatever facet you like, and I'll give you all my links for people to if they want to have a look into my my things.
People will.
Yeah.
This is,
and I spent about an hour on your website going through your videos. So
yeah,
I encourage anybody listening, if you want to hear, and I'm not a professional opera person, but I think it was amazing. So there's some videos there of you singing, and I just want you to know I am really grateful for your time and the fact that you are doing this kind of work, because this is the kind of people need to hear this because it's so important. Wes and I always talk about this. We get so worked up and we get so busy doing everything else. We're not spending any time with people talking and learning, and just the hour and a half that I've spent with you has been really empowering. And I feel like I've kind of can re-tap into working on myself a little better. And it sounds crazy to say that out loud because it was only an hour and a half and I barely know you, but like the way you communicate and the way you explain and your calmness, and it just, I think it's amazing. And I'm really grateful that you're here on this earth with me because we get to share these moments.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you
much for that.
so much. Oh, my camera's going. Thank you. Really, I'm grateful for what you're doing out there. I really am. And I'm grateful to, for your time, for your invitation to be able to have this conversation. This is really wonderful.
Spreading the love, spreading the positive. Everything Philip just said, I resonate with. I would love to be there visiting you. Like I just had this aha moment. I'm like, this was like an Oprah episode, but we get to have you on our show.
I know.
Like you can literally be in Oprah's backyard under her oak tree with that, whatever show she does, that one-on-one. Like you need to be there with her. Like, and we are so blessed to have you. I just want to be there, sipping some tea in your garden with a parrot on my shoulder.
A parrot?
You can do that.
We just feel so welcomed and so blessed to have you here, and just having a new friend. I think, and that brings so much positivity and joy, and you also invoke some great thoughts and some great challenges that we can take internally.
Yeah.
And this is everything Philip said too. I'm like, oh, this is kind of speechless after that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you for being here and
and
taking up your afternoon while it's still morning here.
I know.
Whatever day it is there.
Thank you, Simona, so
Best
much.
way of spending an afternoon with you.
Well,
Thank you.
we appreciate your time. For those of you listening, if you've got questions, as always, you can reach out to us at twobottlesdeep@gmail.com. You can DM us, send us a fax, whatever you want. But I'm thankful for you, Simona. Wes, I love you, babe.
I love you,
Hope
Phil.
you have a good week.
You as well.
And I'll talk at you later.
Do it. Bye, y'all.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to another great episode of Two Bottles Deep.
Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating wherever you get your podcast.
And while you're at it, write us a fabulous review.
Please reach out to us on our email, twobottlesdeep@gmail.com.
There is plenty of love in this world. Be a part of it.